David Sutphen, you're a democratic activist on technology, but also on civil rights. What's the connection between the two, particularly in terms of broadband policy and making sure that all Americans have access to high-speed internet?
Well, if you look at the kind of history of this country, it's obviously grounded on this notion of equality of opportunity, and we've clearly fallen short in many ways historically, but there's always been a constant march forward to make sure that there is a commitment to having as level of a playing field as you possibly could. For a long time, that was basic core rights, ability to get a job, ability to vote. As we've moved into this information economy, 5-7 years ago, we used to hear this term, the digital divide, talked about, and it was often just in the context of, do lower income and minority and rural kids have computers in their classrooms? Well, the digital divide has become as much about your pocketbook as it is a computer in your classroom, because we now live in an environment in which, whether it's getting a job, getting a degree, managing your money, monitoring your health care, getting information about your kind of what's happening around you in your community, is you're missing out on something if you're not connected. The other thing that we've uncovered, and the Internet Innovation Alliance is a kind of a collaboration of companies and nonprofits, all of whom are committed to this idea of the importance of 100% broadband. So we said to ourselves, okay, for the 30 to 40% of Americans who have access to an internet connection but yet aren't connected, why aren't they connected? And one of the things we've seen, part of it's cost, part of it is digital literacy, but the other is what I would call kind of a aspirational disconnect. People will say, yeah, I kind of know it exists, and maybe it's relevant to my education, but I don't know what value concretely I'm going to get out of it. So what we recently did is we put together a study that showed that if you pay $460, which is the average price for a year for a home broadband connection, you can actually save over $7,000 a year by getting access to things that are only available to those people online. So concrete examples, travel sales. You go to Travelocity, Orbitz, you name it. You buy your plane ticket, your hotel, and your car together, and you can save hundreds of dollars. You can go on to Amazon, buy your clothes. You can go on and go to Groupon and get discounts to sports tickets or movies or you name it. You start to add that up, and that's real money. And we benchmark this against the Department of Labor numbers that show what the household of four spends a year in these various categories, and it's pretty profound. So what it essentially means is the people who need it the most now when our economy is struggling, seniors, rural, lower income, minorities, are the ones who are actually paying a cost, a real cost, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars by not being connected. So to me, that's the civil rights issue of this generation.
And very briefly, what can the Obama administration do in the next couple of years to encourage the less economically advantaged people in this country to access broadband? Is there policy? Is it education? What's the primary focus?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. I mean, you have the policy in the National Broadband Plan, and the administration deserves immense credit for that. I mean, IIA has been around now for 6 years, and it was saying for that entire period of time, we need a national broadband plan. These issues are too big for there to not be a national strategy to get all Americans connected. That strategy now exists. The irony, of course, is we've been spending the last year and a half, 2 years, fighting about this sideshow that's net neutrality instead of focusing on getting all those Americans who have access connected. And I would say it's a responsibility for everyone. I mean, whether you're an elected official, a community organization, the news media, you name it, everyone has a role to play in demonstrating in concrete ways why people should be connected and the value that can come from that, which is one of the reasons, as I said, we decided to do this study, because at a time when everyone is trying to figure out creative ways to make ends meet, what better way to hit home for people the importance of having a broadband connection than letting them know that you can save, $7,700 a year by being online and doing some of your shopping and your entertainment, looking for an apartment, all the things that those of us who are blessed to have a broadband connection at home and wirelessly do every day. Our view is everyone needs to benefit from that, and we'd be better off as a country, and it would help drive the internet economy, which is clearly where the future is.